In the great city of Babylon, an old man knelt by his window 3 times every day and prayed. He knew it had just become illegal. He knew the punishment was a den full of lions, and he opened his windows and prayed anyway. This is the story of Daniel. Daniel was not from Babylon. He was an exile from Judah who had served its kings faithfully for decades. Now, an old man, he served King Darius, and he did it so well that the king planned to set him over the whole kingdom. The other officials burned with jealousy. They watched Daniel for months, hunting for corruption, for laziness, for anything. They found nothing. Finally, they admitted it. "We will never trap this man," they said, "unless it has something to do with the law of his God." So they flattered the king. "O King Darius, live forever. Make a law that for 30 days, anyone who prays to any god or man except you shall be thrown into the den of lions." The king, enjoying the honor, signed it, and the trap snapped shut. Daniel heard about the law. He couldn't have prayed silently. He could have closed his shutters for a month. Nobody would have blamed him. Instead, he went home, opened his windows toward Jerusalem, knelt down, and prayed, just like he always had. The officials ran to the king. "Did you not sign a law?" they asked. Then they sprang it. Daniel prays 3 times a day to his God. The king's heart sank. He had been played. He spent the whole day trying to find a way to save his friend and found none. At sundown, the law had to be carried out. Daniel was led to the mouth of the den. The king leaned close and said, "May your God whom you serve continually deliver you." Then the stone rolled over the opening, and the night went silent. Down in the dark, Daniel stood among the lions. Huge shapes circled him, eyes glowing in the blackness. And then the strangest thing happened. Nothing. The lions yawned. They lay down, because God had sent his angel and shut the lions' mouths. "My God has sent his angel and has shut the lions' mouths, and they have not hurt me." The king could not sleep. No food, no music, just a long night of pacing. At the first light of dawn, he ran to the den, and cried out in a voice of anguish, "Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God been able to deliver you?" And a voice came up from the dark. "O king, live forever. My God sent his angel and shut the lions' mouths. They have not hurt me." The king nearly collapsed with joy. "Lift him out," he commanded, and Daniel came up without a scratch. Why was he unharmed? The scripture gives the reason plainly. Because he had trusted in his God, not because he was important, not because he was clever, because 70 years of quiet, daily, faithful prayer had built a trust that one bad law could not break. King Darius then wrote to every nation in his empire, "I make a decree," he said, "that in all my royal dominion men tremble and fear before the God of Daniel, for he is the living God." The God Daniel would not stop praying to was now proclaimed across the world. Here is what is easy to miss. The miracle in the den took one night, but the faithfulness that carried Daniel there took a lifetime. 3 times a day, year after year, when no one was watching and nothing was at stake. The den did not make Daniel faithful. It revealed that he already was. So here is the question to sit with. What is your daily practice building? Because the habits no one sees today are quietly deciding who you will be when the test comes. Build something now that a lion's den cannot shake.